Well, howdy, Francis here with the Texas Roadrunner channel. If you have been following me from like the beginning of my little YouTube thing, whatever, you'll notice that I did a project that dealt with converting an ice chest into an AC unit. A lot of this had to do with you know, going out camping with a former girlfriend in the middle of the summer in July, and boy howdy did we get hot. I'm going to leave that link down below on the original build, but this is a modification of that ice chest air conditioning unit. So if you want to see how I do it, please stay tuned. Okay, this is my ice chest air conditioning unit. I do have a pretty big blower in here. It is usually used in greenhouse applications. Now, let me see if I can give you the specs here, if it will focus. 390 up to 2,400. Oh, that's RPMs. Well, it says I'm going to assume 390 cubic feet per minute of air can go through here. It is variable. I have the switch right here. I can increase the speed. You can probably hear the fan roar up, huh? Okay, let me turn it down. And in fact, let me just turn it off real quick. And I'm gonna show you the basic construction. In fact, I'll put the link to this build down below. This was one of my first do-it-yourself projects. And again, as you can see, it's pretty basic. I wanted to leave the ice chest as an ice chest, so I made this plate for it. It comes off and on. Pretty tight fit, so that's why I have these handles. And of course, the air gets blown in from the bottom, and the exhaust comes out here, or goes in. The exhaust goes in here and comes out here. And then of course you just fill your ice chest full of ice. But you know, Jason from Make and Do found a way to improve this design. So let's see what he did. Now, since I have 2 wire racks in here, I may not need that screen grating or whatever you want to call it. I could probably put a water bottle here to seal up that little area, water bottle here, and maybe something over here. So let me go ahead and start marking where I need to cut, and then I'll cut out this part of the wire rack. Okay, I cut the bars out of this wire rack, and the duct fits in real nice. So obviously I have more duct than I needed. So let's see if we can figure out how much excess I need to cut off. You know what I mean? So this is kind of the construction of what it's going to look like before I put the top on. Obviously, I gotta put the top on before I can put the fan on. I'm also going to try to use this tube clamp to keep it more secure. There, I think I'm almost complete with this build. Let me put everything back in. Again, from the outside, it still looks the same, right?
Well, let's go ahead and put some ice in and see if we can tell a difference. And then I'll compare it with the numbers I discovered the first time I built this. So I have filled up with ice now, and I have a mixture of big chunks of ice and little chunks of ice from the ice maker and some frozen water bottles. I have the whole thing running now, and so I'm going to go back inside and grab a thermometer. But it does feel good on my legs. Let's just figure out what the temperature is. And by the way, it is August and it is extremely hot and humid out there. (59.0 degrees). Well, that's better than my temperatures I got last time. We'll let it run for a little while. In fact, let's try another exhaust. (61.19). Let's try it again. (80). So I'm getting some discrepancy. It looks like the higher temperatures are on the exhaust that are up high. So maybe I can push them down. (62.8). (60.4). So I've gone down quite a bit, but I'm not getting the 30-something degrees that Jason was getting. Now, fucker. 67.6. 65.4. 64.4. Again, that's on the low setting. Let's go back to the high setting. For a surface cam? Well, now it's getting on up there. 69.3, 67.3, 68.5. Another nice aspect of this design is that you can put almost all the components inside here, with the exception of the motor, and make it nice and compact. And if you want to, you can still use it as an ice chest. Okay, I'm back. When you look at Jason's video, and like I said, I'll put the link down below, he was actually getting, in the 30s with his thermometer probe. Now, my thermometer probe is one of those cheap things that you get at the drugstore. His looks a whole lot nicer, so maybe he's getting more accurate readings. He also did his test in his car. Now, I don't know what time of year it was when he did all this. It could have been, in spring, but here I am smack in the middle of Texas summer heat, right? Even inside the house I showed you, it was almost 80 and I have the AC on. So that could be another factor, I am going to do a part 2 of this and do a conversion from AC to DC. That way you could power it up with a battery bank or an inverter, that type of thing. So I want to try that out, and hopefully I'll be finished with this project. He did use small bits of ice. I had a lot of big chunks of ice and I covered it with small pieces of ice, and maybe the surface area of the smaller pieces of ice helped out. I don't know. I'm just going to watch it and take some more readings. If I learn something new, I'll let you know. Is it a worthwhile project? Well, if you're out camping, in a state park that has electrical power, yeah, go ahead and do it, because if you watch my first video on this project, you'll understand why I got into it. Because me and a girlfriend went out camping out in the Texas Hill Country in the middle of July, right? Kind of dumb, and we really needed some AC, and our campsite had electrical power, and so that's why I built 2 of these, one for her and one for me. So I think it's worth it, because at least it'll bring the temperature down in your tent. Just sleep on top of your sleeping bag, right? So you guys be safe out there, and until next time, take care.
I'm Francis Kiefel, and I approved this video.